Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of a game Curmudgeon plays Dream Quest. I told you last time, I think, well, let's just look at our high scores here real quick. Um, we've only played Thief so far. We've went through it, I don't know, maybe 6, 8, 10 times with Thief. I think it's time now to switch things up a little bit, go through another class. This will take a little longer because I'll need to go over everything a little bit more in detail. And then when we get back around, play a couple more with this class, we can get back to the faster games and a little more gameplay. So, really, I think I'm gonna save Priest for last because it's the one I don't like as much as the others. I think really my choices are Warrior and Wizard. So let's go with Warrior since it's first in alphabetical order. How about? Alright, so I will now choose the Warrior. There are a couple of different ways you can go with Warrior as well. I believe typically there's the action card draw warriors. Then there's also possibly a warrior that I really don't know. The only warrior I really ever try to do that gets to level 3 is the not action card draw, but the no action, very heavy attack draw cards. Anyways, I still have the same choices here as I do with Thief on my beginning. I will choose health for a warrior as well, especially here at the beginning. As you can see, warrior starts with no mana again, starts with 1 action, draws 2 cards. The warrior has a special ability called Smash. This is actually a pretty good special ability. It's one, once you've completed the game, or the dungeon level 3 with warrior, this becomes, actually all of the classes, their special ability becomes an action you can take as a talent. And Smash is one I've taken a few times because it can really get you out of a jam, like when the game tries to teach you about or cheat you about what it's putting in a certain place. And I really think that Smash really can get you out of a lot of jams. So, for instance, right now, well, this is actually not, I like attacking a level 2 at first, but if this was a level 1 and I went over here and I was blocked by a level 1 here, I would have nothing I could do. Well, with Smash, I can, and I'm going to go ahead and use it just to show you, you can use the Smash and knock out any of these walls out of the way, and that now becomes a space you can go into. And for some reason, every time I pick a space, it's always just goes into an even deeper hole. It's probably this wall that I needed to smash to be able to get around this creature, and I never can find those. Well, anyways, we start with a shop here. Let's see what's in the shop. Alright, got 3 pretty good cards here. The Ward is a good defensive card. Unfortunately, it's a spell, and as a warrior, I'm not very privy to casting a lot of spells, but this one essentially is a heal 8 or prevent 8 damage to you spell. I say it's a kind of a heal 8, not exactly, because you don't carry that health with you later, but for that combat it's essentially the same as healing 8 because that stays there the whole time. It's not like there is a type of mechanic where it just prevents a certain amount of damage. Well, that prevention of damage only lasts 1 round and then resets back to 0. Well, the ward will persist throughout the whole combat. So every time you cast it, you essentially get 8 more. Again, because I don't have any mana, that's not something I'm leaning toward. Protean is a pretty good card. I really like it with Thief. I'm not entirely sure I like it with Warrior. The Warrior tends to have a lot of the same cards. A lot of attack 1s, a lot of attack 2s. things like that. And then an elemental slash is probably a good idea for me to get. Depending upon the boss at the end of this level, we'll see if corrosive is the one I want. Since it's a corrosive one, I'll tend not to pick it up unless I find a blacksmith on level 1 where I can pick this up for 10 gold and then up it to corrosive 3 for 1 free pop, and then maybe 1 more at 5, so I can get a corrosive slash 3 for a total of 15 gold. I only start the game with 6 because I haven't unlocked a whole lot of the achievements yet, so a lot of these are probably out of my reach for at least a few, and until I've unlocked a few more achievements. Let's look at the warrior starting deck. I told you there's not much to it. They do start with an equipment card. It's the sword. The sword is pretty good. I actually really like, toward the end, you can do a lot of damage with, like if you've got 2 swords, I guess 1 in each hand, and you've got, there's a special talent called Cruel. Every one of those attack ones is doing essentially 1 attack for that, and then 1 for each sword, and all of those are doubled. So every one kind of almost becomes 2. And so you're doing, instead of 3, you're doing 6, and so on and so forth. So the way the sword works, it deals, in addition to the cards you're playing, this deals 1 damage for every 2 attack cards you play in a turn. So if you play, at the time you play a second red card in your turn, the sword triggers and deals an extra damage along with that. When you play a 4th attack card, it triggers and deals another 1 extra damage along with that. So if you've got a lot of card draw that is in attack cards, these swords can become a lot of damage. Other than the sword, you just have the standard attack 1s and attack 2s. So we're gonna, again, it's a level 1, I'm level 1, but usually at level 1 you can handle things a little bit higher because I guess you start with a little more HP than the typical level 1 creature. So I like to hit the level 2s because it gives me an automatic level up, and I save this for trying to get a cooldown later. So we'll attack the wyvern. The warrior deck is fairly standard. Just play your attacks, essentially. There's not much else you can do, especially at the beginning. You kind of hope to draw these attack 2s because now I get to kill the wyvern. So I kill the wyvern, I get 6 gold, and I got a choice. Just like everything, every other class, when you level up, you get a choice of usually 2 things. In this case, and they're different, I think they're different per class, or at least the random generator will skew towards certain ways with certain classes as opposed to others, is the way I feel that it works. So there's 2 choices here. The green action card here is Stone Skin. This is actually a pretty good card if you want to become a more defensive type warrior. This one says gain damage reduction 2 until your next turn. Damage reduction is really, really good. Essentially, that reduces the first 2 damage from any physical source. One thing I'm not 100% sure is if piercing counts as physical or not. I've never been 100% clear on that. But this works a lot better than, say, armor, which prevents 3 action, because if they do 3 with one thing and then 3 with another, the second 3 gets through. The way damage reduction works, if they're doing if a card does 3 damage, it reduces down to 1 damage, and then the next card that does 3 damage reduces down to 1 damage. So on the turns that you play Stone Skin, you can prevent a lot of damage, especially against, say, the creatures that play a lot of little cards. For instance, thieves and warriors in this game. The Slash is a really good card, though, and probably the one I will take. It actually is the one I'm going to take. This one deals 2 damage, so it's essentially an attack 2, and along with it draws a card. So it kind of has that same thing I like with Thief, in that it kind of replaces itself. And any card that kind of replaces itself, I tend to overvalue. It might be a flaw with me, but it's something I do. Because in my eyes, it's like it's a free thing to add to your deck, because it's it's never an issue, because if you draw it, you play it, and you get a card that you would have drawn anyways. So I will take the slash. It does have also synergy with the sword that I have. Alright, found another shop here. Oh, found another sword. I would really like... I know I don't have a whole lot going for me here, but I'd kind of like to dual wield swords. That's a thing I tend to like to do. I may not have the money to be able to do that right now, though. I'm going to go ahead, darn it, pop that health. Let me pop this one. Alright, found a level 3 priest. These can be kind of tough for warriors. I'm level 2. I should be able to handle it. But these guys heal a lot and can sometimes be kind of hard to take out. Especially if you're drawing 2 attack 1s and only doing 2 points of damage per turn. It's like he played that salve right there and healed himself. So I got to put my sword out finally. If I can get an equipment slot and keep that up, then that will go a long way toward. So now you'll notice when I played this, I did 1 damage from this, 2 damage from this, and then the sword did an extra damage. So unless he heals here, and he did. So I'm going to do 4 again. So I'll get him down to 1 again. Maybe he doesn't heal this time. And yeah, and I get him this time. So I did manage to beat that priest. I got my smash back. It's a good thing because I'm going to need it apparently. Alright, now if I did have some spell that I really want to cast, and there is a good spell for a warrior that I tend to like. I don't know that I actually have the ability to get it without any achievements unlocked, but it's usually you can do okay with just having a couple of mana and doing it anyways. Getting a mana card as a warrior tends to be a clog of your deck, so that's not something I'm probably going to pick up. I will leave it there though, just in case I find something too good to pass up. So what I'm going to do is smash around this cat here. Hopefully I didn't miss again. Alright, this is the boss. He's a genie. Believe we had a genie already with the thief. If you know, they have that 3 wish card that you kind of have to choose the damn or the what your fate is, or what's going to kill you essentially. I don't like attacking a level 4 pixie with me at level 2. Pixies tend to have fireballs and they can do a lot of damage. So because I only need 1 to go to the next level, I will fight this cat. And the cats, again, first card you play usually has no positive outcome to it. So I'm going to run the sword into it because I don't really need a sword against a cat. All I need to do is draw one of these attack 2s and then he'll be gone. So I gained a level now, and hopefully I've got some good choices here. I get this double strike ability, and I'll get into that in a minute. It's a really good ability. With warrior, I tend to use it a lot. So that's where the alternating your attacks, hard creature then an easy creature, or hard creature then an easy creature, really comes into play with warrior. Because this double strike, you can use it every other combat. So you really need it against the hard creatures. So my choices here are Storm Slash. I believe that will work against this boss, or a Hamstring. Hamstring might be something that we take, and I actually think I'm leaning toward it. Now, when I first started, I'm leaning more toward the Storm Slash, but now that I think about it, I think the Hamstring might be better because of the genie. When you play the Hamstring card, you deal 3 damage. It is an action card, and I have 1 action, so I'm only going to be able to play 1 per turn. But you deal 3 damage, but any action cards in their hand get discarded. And against genies, those 3 wish cards, and I believe they have a couple others that take away your actions or mana, are all action cards. So those can be good things to get rid of. And I think I'm going to lean toward taking that Hamstring. It's also 3 damage, which is a significant amount. Alright, good thing we found a church here. We can get rid of some of our attack 1s in this case. And I actually think I'm going to go ahead and pay and get rid of a second one. I don't like doing that before I see what else is in shops. but I've seen 3 shops already. I believe that's probably, there's a chance there's 4 on this level, but probably not. Got a vampire bat here. Between the vampire bat and the either the Usuri tracker or the pixie here, I should be able to level up. Since I have full health and then there's this health pool here, I think I will go after this pixie, because they have fireballs and can tend to do a lot of damage. But I should be able to live. I'll just be really hurt. And we kind of got lucky that we drew the sword and slash in our hand, because then with the slash we got to draw another attack card, which gave us an attack with the sword on the turn we drew it, which usually does not happen when you only have 2 cards in your hand. I have a smash available. I'm going to go ahead and smash that and see what's behind these things. Oh wow, I found another monastery here. I get to forget 1 more attack 1. Every one of these attack 1s you forget just means you're drawing your better cards faster. So those attack 1s I'm all for getting rid of as soon as possible. I'm kind of bummed now that I took that hamstring, because I found one of my favorite cards, the Colossal Smash. This one you can only play if you have no action cards in play. This deals 8 damage, but you do lose all your action points. So this is where I say that the warrior can be great, because they do a lot of damage with, you know, a couple of attack cards. But they really hurting in other aspects with mana or with action cards. Colossal Smash kind of takes that way to the extreme, in that it doesn't even let you play action cards. Because I already took a hamstring, it really hampers my ability to take this card, though. Since there is no blacksmith on the level, probably there might be one hidden but behind one of these 2, but I would really doubt it. There is not any elemental slash that's over 1. That is unfortunate. Oh, I guess I should go over this card. I do not like these cards. Maybe I'm wrong about them, but it does 10 damage, but it does do 4 to yourself. I tend to avoid this card. It's a lot of damage, but I just don't ever like hurting myself. I guess in real life and in a game. I'm going to go after the vampire bat. It should be easy enough to take out. I'm going to hit this heal place first real quick. I've got another heal here. Okay, that works a lot. Now I should have no problems against this bat. I don't even have to use my double strike here, but you'll see what it does here in a moment for sure. Actually, I'll go ahead and show you, since I have that Usuri tracker. I can fight again, and it will end this attack early. Actually, I don't need it at all, but I'll use it anyways, because I won't need it against the tracker, because I'm wanting to save that for the genie for sure. When I play a card, it creates a second copy of that card for me to play that turn. It has to be an attack card, or actually it can be any card at all, right? Yeah. Any card I play, it creates a second copy. Obviously, as a warrior with only 1 action point, I would not want to do that to an action card. Usually, like that Colossal Smash that does 8 damage would be one that I would tend to do that with. Okay, get level 4, so I get the extra draw card every turn. 2 choices on my bonus here. Magical, gain 2 mana, and this is base mana. I don't have any spells in my deck, so I'm not thinking that's good. Delete is always good, because it just makes your deck so clean, and I think I'm gonna have to go with that. I've already, with 2 monasteries and then me paying for 1 as well, I've already deleted a lot, so I would tend to favor something else over a delete, but not mana in this case. Alright, so I will attack the tracker. I've got a good thing going here, because no matter how much damage I get against the tracker, I can always heal at this thing before I have to fight the genie, so maybe we can get something good out of it. unfortunately, I did not draw an attack 1, so I have to run one of my attack 2s into the hide here. But then I can hamstring them, take away these pounces, which let them draw lots of cards, and the claws. So that's a pretty good hamstring there. And then I run the attack 1 into that thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the sword. And then since I have a slash, I can actually do the sword damage this turn as well. So not going too bad. Running the attack 1 out first, and then the attack 2s. And then the sword gets an extra damage. And then same thing. Run the attack 1 out, it goes away. I'm going to run the hamstring out, and that knocks any actions out of his hand. And disposed of the tracker. So, anything back here? No. So we have 40 gold. You know what? I think I'm going to go over here and grab this other sword. And then maybe the flame slash. Yeah. Now, if it's a fire level on level 2, that flame slash was a bad choice, but I'm just guessing here. I probably should have taken a storm slash because we have an air level now, and I don't think you ever see the same level in the second stage as you do in the first. And the air level tends to have creatures that are okay against or resistant to air damage. The flame level tends to have creatures that are resistant to flame damage. At least to me it seems that way. Alright, so let's go after this genie. Hopefully we can take it out without a whole lot of trouble. Throw one sword out there and then run my 2 attacks out. And I'm gonna go, okay, and this is that 3 wish card. My choices are -1 card to the genie, or I'm sorry, -1 card to me, -1 action, or gain 4 curses. This is not a good choice. I have, normally with a warrior I would take this -1 action, but I have that hamstring card and I don't have any extra actions. And the hamstring can help me against these genies a little bit. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take the -1 card and get rid of this attack 1. And run out a sword and play an attack 2. This might not last a long time. Alright, gonna run the hamstring out. Hopefully I get something, and I got 0 out of it. Running a slash out, and then this, I think this is the best card I can do, so I'm gonna copy this flame slash and play it twice. Run a hamstring out. Hopefully I can take out, no, didn't get anything out of it. How does that happen? He should have discarded that. What do I do? I guess I'm gonna give the genie 1 card. I cannot let it heal. I'm not sure we're gonna make it. We are doing 2 swords worth of damage every turn, but it's gonna be close. Oh, he played a ward. That might have saved him. Oh, if I take 4 poison, I'll be at 3 health, so I have to kill him next turn. Ugh. That's not gonna work. I think he just killed me just because of the second. He played 2 3 wishes in a row on this turn, and I think that's what got me. Ugh. Hate that. Well, at least it didn't take long, huh? And I got 0 achievements out of that. Wow. That wasn't a good run at all. Let's try that one again, okay? We can be a little faster this time, I think. Alright, warrior again. And we're on a fire level. I still take health, I think. Hopefully we get something better this time. Found a church. Got a treasure chest here. Poison dagger is a pretty good weapon. This is a slower weapon. Same thing as a sword. For every 2 attack cards, something happens. In this case, the opponent becomes poisoned 1. I may have went over poison a little bit with thief. I tend to use that some with mage a lot. Level 3 thief. Poison decrements by 1 every turn, and does that amount of damage. So if you poison 4 somebody, they'll take 4 damage one turn, 3 damage the next turn, 2 damage the next turn. The issue with poison is it takes a long time to do all that damage. So you've kind of got to survive in the combat for that long. It's a fairly open first level here. Let's go ahead and forget one of the attack ones. That's always going to be a good thing. Alright, found a level 2 orc. I believe this is what we're going to fight. I'm going to save my smash for the time being until I get pinned in. This is fairly open board so far, so not a whole lot of issue. And you cannot get jumped on that first level, or at least it's never happened to me so far. Alright, both of these bonuses are kind of the same thing. Slash does 2 damage and draws a card. This one, upgrade 2 cards from your deck. Because I haven't seen any shops yet, which would make me think my attack cards would be good. Like if I have a lot of swords, the attack cards become pretty good. I think I'm going to take the slash. I tend to favor slash over just adding extra attack to your attack cards. So pretty good shop here. Got a stone skin. I told you about that. That was one of my level up choices last game. And then 3 health. Health is always a good thing to get, no matter what your class or what your ability. Got a hamstring and a berserker strike and a flame slash in this shop. Alright, a level 3 goblin. I believe we should be able to take that with our level 2 fighter. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge him to a duel. And again, there's not a whole lot of thinking with a warrior. I tend to play my lower value cards first, unless I'm in a really strong fight. Wow, I found another church. These churches have been very plentiful for the warrior lately. I never seem to find them with my thief. Get to heal a little bit. Oh, we're fighting a genie again. Let's see if we can't do a better... Oh, wow. This is a real... I really wish that I had this board after I've unlocked a lot of my achievements, because a sword and equipment slot... Wow. I would really like to buy these things, but I'm just not going to be able to afford them right now. I think this is level 1. We should take out a level 1, I think. It will gain us a level and heal us, so I think we were already healed anyways. If I had any action cards at all in my hand, I would take the gain 1 action, because it would mean I could take the -1 action wish from the genie and still have an action. But because I don't have any at all, and I doubt I buy the hamstring that's up in this shop up here, because there's a sword and an extra equipment slot here, I think I'm going to take this slash. 2 slashes is pretty good. So I think we could take this level 4 thief, honestly. What level is this guy? 3, and this guy is 2. Well, we're going to have to take the level 4 thief at some point to level up, so we might as well do it while we're at full health. The only reason we might want to delay is if we thought we got enough gold from one of the other creatures to buy something that might help us against this guy. But because I can use my double strike against him, I don't think that this is a bad fight for us at this moment. And yeah, we did get through. And nothing here. Let's try smashing this. Nothing. Well, I guess they did give us plenty of stuff on this level. I'm going to hit these 2 heal packs and then take the lower level 2, level 3. I used my cooldown, right? Yeah. I'm going to fight the level 3 because Actually, I think I'm going to go buy the sword. And then go fight the level 3. Because I think I can... get him without the cooldown. And this god does not level me up. So it does me no good to fight him just to get my cooldown for this guy and have to fight him again. Because if I use my cooldown against him, I do not have it against the genie. And I need to make sure I have it against the genie. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fight this guy first. And I did not draw my sword. I really needed to get those early. Yeah, this should be good. Got a sword, and then a slash, and then an attack. Yeah, sweet. I was a little worried about that fight, but it seems to have went out okay for us. Wow. Should have had a third slash to my deck? I think I will, since I have 2 swords, and I can maybe afford an equipment slot eventually. Slice I will not take at all, because I just don't really have the actions to give there. I completely forgot this poison dagger was over here, but you know what, the swords, I like the swords better than the poison for warrior. Frost slash I doubt I take. There's no reason for me not to fight this guy. Let me just check these things. Oh, I could have gotten that health. I really need to save my money though, because I really want to get this equipment slot here. Because if I can get this equipment slot and take the equipment slot for level 2 and start with both of those swords in play, that's really strong. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this guy. Hopefully we do better than we did last time. I will take the -1 action. I do not have a hamstring in my deck this time, so it's not going to hurt me taking it this time. So if we can draw a lot of our slashes, I'm going to go ahead and give him a card. And I'm going to copy this slash, because that's going to give me a lot of cards in this one turn. And look at the damage I did, because I copied a slash, and then I had another slash, and then I drew a slash. I got to play 8 cards this turn with 2 swords out. So every 2 of those cards did 2 damage, as well as the damage that it did itself. So that was a good turn, although he gets an extra turn. I'm going to gain 4 curses. I don't like doing this, but I have a lot of cards in my deck, so maybe I can do it. Oh, got through him this time. Alright, oh, look at this. This is even better. I get a equipment slot here as well. Or I can gain 9 health. What's in my deck? The reason I'm looking at my deck now is because if there was anything worth copying in my deck, it would be worth it for me to take the health here instead of the equipment slot. Because I can use the copy ability when I change levels to copy a really good card. Because I don't have a good card here, I think I will take the equipment slot. There's a chance. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that equipment slot, and then I'm going to buy this equipment slot. And this is insane. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pick up this poison dagger. And I'm going to... Oh, I almost left without fighting this priest. I might as well take the experience points for this priest, right? No problem with 2 swords out in play already. Because the reason I did that... actually, you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to... since I have 11... Wait, I've already... Yeah. Since I have 11, I'm going to use 10 of it to forget one of these attack ones as well. Excuse me. Alright, so let's go on to the next level. I get to choose a talent, and that talent is going to be an equipment slot. Because now, this is insane. I'm going to start with 2 swords and a poison dagger in play with 3 slashes. This might be a pretty good deck. These things, brownies, they can be hard for warriors. I think I might have fought one as a thief in one of the runs earlier, but because they dodge half of attack cards with warriors, they can be tough to deal with when half your things don't hit. And for some strange reason, the half things that don't hit tend to be the good ones for a warrior. Alright, looks like I'm pinned in here. I've got the level 4 brownie, the level 4 Stormcaller, or the level 4 Siren. I think I will... Actually, I think I'm going to smash here and go around. Yeah, I'll shoot. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fight this. I'm going to fight the Siren. Because if I fight the Siren over here, it opens up this side. And I've already opened this side up. So if I take some damage from the Siren, I can go this way and pop a heal pack too. So I will do that. Attack one. That's like the worst hand I could draw. But this one works. That is... I don't think I've ever had 2 swords and a poison dagger. That's going to be interesting. So, I'm at 40 health. So I have no issue health-wise, so I don't have to pop a heal pack. I'm going to pop this one. Oh. I don't know that I've went over any of these altars. I don't know that I've come across one yet in any of my thief things. Altars, let me just go over them real quick. There are 6 different altars, and they all do different things. The first time you hit them, they don't tell you what they do. There's one for like essentially becoming a vampire. That's what this one is. I tend to remember. I think I remember all of them. There's one that poisons you at the start, but all your enemies are weaker. There's one that will completely heal you up. There's, like I said, 6 different ones. I tend not to hit them at all. None of them. There's one that gives you an equipment slot. I will sometimes hit that one because the downside of that one, they all have a positive side and a negative side to them. And the downside of the equipment slot one is that all of the creatures you fight tend to start with a sword in play. And you can sometimes use that against them if you have a card that destroys equipment and stuff like that. The other one I tend to sometimes take is one that lets you draw an extra card every turn but adds curses to your deck. Well, you can kind of deal with that if you find a lot of churches or take a lot of deletes. Or if you get such a big deck that draws so much that 1 or 2 curses in your deck doesn't hurt it as much. This one is the kind of the vampire one. You cannot use healing pools or health packs anymore when you hit this one. But every time you do damage to things, you'll heal a little bit, like a vampire kind of. It's not one I tend to usually take because the healing pools and the healing altar and things like that tend to be important to me for leveling up. You do still heal from leveling up, but and you can't heal from like a healing potion, or you can't heal from any of your spells that if you've got any spells in your deck that heal you. I actually am going to take it, and this is the reason why, because there is an achievement associated with finding all 6. And I have not found this one yet. If I had found this one, I would know. If I had found this one on this profile, I would know, because it would tell me right below where it says speak my name except my touch. It would say a faint memory reminds you that this is what this altar does. If it doesn't say that, this profile has never hit that altar. And I do want to unlock the achievement for hitting all the altar types. So I'm going to go ahead and invoke it. So what this altar does is I heal 1 health for every 3 damage I deal, And I no longer heal any other way other than leveling up. So no spells, no healing pools. None. These things do not heal me anymore if I was damaged. Things like that. Wisps are anti-physical damage. And I have... The only elemental damage I have in my deck is this poison dagger. So that wisp could be a tough thing for me to deal with. I might need to pick up some sort of elemental damage somewhere. But I don't see any yet. I'm going to pop this heal pack since it's useless to me now. Here's a level 4 piranha. That seems like something I can go after. This is the vampire ability that's I may not normally heal, but every 3 heals me 1 point. So you can see right now I'm at 37. Watch, every time I do, well, because he was so weak, you didn't get to see that time. So, but you'll get to see against my next thing. See, notice I pop these heal pots, or healing things, but it doesn't do a thing to my heal bar here. Found a shop though. I need to buy probably this pierce. This pierce is piercing damage, so it can damage this wisp. So I kind of need to save 45. Alright, I'm going to attack this storm caller. I'm going to save my smash for right now. And you can see the little vampire thing is healing me up a little bit every time I do some damage. That actually is not bad. And my aversion to that vampire altar might be misguided. When I have nothing in my deck that heals me anyways. These aren't really that big a deal, are they? Here's an ant, or a tree ant, I guess is what it's called here, because they don't want to step on Lord of the Rings toes. But this is a big tree you're essentially fighting. It's a level 7, and it's an elite, so it's not something I'm going to tangle with. Get that. Tangle with right now. But, let's go ahead and smash here. And, of course, I picked the worst place in the world to smash. I only need 1 point to level up. I do not have enough to buy a piercing damage yet, so I guess I'm going to go after this girl here and see what it does. Nothing gets through, except probably attack ones will get through every once in a while. Well, actually, a lot of stuff went through that time. Nothing that time though, but it was enough to kill it. Found 12 gold. I am going to... Adrenaline Rush is a good ability. It's every 3rd combat you can use it, but it just draws 3 cards. So it's really good for those big boss fights, because it's 1 turn where you have a lot of cards. And that really works well with having two swords and a poison dagger. Choices here, it's not even a choice. It's going to be the health. Mana is good, but not for what I've got. And, found a lemonade stand. Here I will take more health, and I'm going to actually buy health too. I might even buy it 1 more time, except for the fact, actually I probably shouldn't have bought it, because I just took away my ability to buy that piercing. I have 1 more creature I can fight before I have to fight the wisp, so let's go after it. It should give me enough to fight or to buy the piercing before I have to fight that wisp, because that really is the only... That and the poison dagger are the only things I can do that can damage it, so it's really my only choice. My smash is ready, so I can try to go around it for the time being. Ugh. This is the boss of the level. This is a Kraken. They are bad to fight if you rely on playing a lot of cards a turn. I do. So what the Kraken does is the 4th card you play every turn, essentially... Oh shoot, I just got jumped by a ghost. It might not even matter. The fourth card you play as against the Kraken at any turn doesn't do anything at all, and stupid ghost with the hiding twice. Hang on, I can't multitask, and I'm so worried about this ghost fight right now. I can't explain the Kraken to you. I really think I might have to use my cooldown of drawing 3. Okay. I did not enjoy being jumped by the ghost there. Alright, so the Kraken I'm so hurting right now too. I really need to fight something easy. Because I can't hit this heal pack to heal, unfortunately, because it doesn't do anything, because I picked the vampire thing. I'm probably going to die the next fight. Anyways, the boss, the Kraken. What it does is, the fourth card I play every turn against it just goes away. I mean, it goes away, does not do any damage, and ends my turn. So, you really only get to play 3 cards per turn against it. And if those 3 cards you're playing every turn are attack 1, attack 2, or slash where you draw something, you don't even get to play the cards you draw. So it's really not a good boss for me to be fighting. And probably doesn't matter because I don't think I'll be able to get to it anyways. Just got jumped by a ghost again. That could be the end of it. At least I've got that vampire heal thing going. 2 hides. Again. This ghost is going to kill me. Oh well. That was a pretty good run. At least I got to level 2. Got some achievements though. Carry a really big stick. Deal 1000 damage. Gain access to the execute card. I never ever take the execute card. But it's an achievement. And when I find one, I'll tell you why I don't ever take the execute card. Maybe it's a bad thing that I don't, but I just don't. Oh, this is a good one. Kill 5 Akami. Your characters have 1 additional health. That's going to be great. I'm going to start with 1 extra health every turn. And kill 5 undead. Your characters start with 1 additional health. So actually, I get to start with 2 additional health next time. Alright, so that was 2 runs of Warrior. I really only thought I'd get to go through 1 because I thought I'd have to explain everything about Warrior in order to get everything to work. But because we died so quick in that first one, I guess we got to go through a second one. I hope you enjoyed Warrior a little bit. We're probably going to do at least another episode with Warrior in it. And then maybe one more, or maybe 2 more with Warrior. And then we'll go to Wizard. And then we'll run a couple of episodes with Wizard. And then we'll go to Priest and we'll run a few episodes of Priest. Then we'll pick one of those 4 and go at it as much as we can until we can get through level 3. I would really think by the time we get to Wizard and Priest, we should be consistently getting to level 3. And when I say consistently, in this game, that means 25% of the time when you start the game, you should be able to get to level 3. I would say half the time, the draw and the dungeon that it creates is so bad you just can't even get past level 1. Maybe not half, maybe like 30% of the time. And then most of the time, like 60, 70%, you can get to level 2, but that level 2 boss might be too hard to beat. And then the other 30% of the time, you get to level 3. 25-30% of the time, you can get to level 3, but sometime in level 3 you die. And then maybe 5% of the time, you've got a good enough deck to beat level 3. And that is all at the Grizzly Bear difficulty, which is the default difficulty, but not the difficulty where you actually get to, once you beat level 3, get to fight against the insanely bad creature that really is pretty much just cheating to kill you the whole time, it seems like. I've fought it twice and have not managed to kill it yet. So maybe when we unlock some of the achievements for getting through level 3, I'll probably switch to Velociraptor, because honestly that's typically the way I play the game. You get a lot of achievement points, which are good for unlocking things and so on and so forth. And you can also use those achievement points to re-roll your characters. I haven't done that yet, and probably won't for a very, very long time, because quite frankly, none of the characters I'm getting this early in the game are worth re-rolling or redoing. And it tends to be something I don't do anyways, unless I get really mad. Because to me, it kind of feels like cheating. It's not roguelike. It's not in the spirit of a roguelike to me. So I tend to usually just take my salt and rub it in and go on and say, well, I really shouldn't have done that this time. But every once in a while I want to say, man, if I had taken that deck in a different way, or if I had fought this creature in a different way, could I have changed the outcome? And every once in a while I will do that reroll just to answer those kinds of questions. So anyways, thanks for joining me with Run of Warrior. Hope you enjoyed it. We hope we see you again next time. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please feel free to leave them down below, and I'll do my best to answer what I can, or what I feel like I can answer. So thanks a lot, everyone. Have fun gaming.